But first, this week there was a horrific mass shooting at a Christian school in Nashville where 28-year-old Audrey Hale, who identified as a man, shot and killed 3 9-year-olds and 3 school workers before police reached her and she was neutralised. Now, in the aftermath of this horror, something very strange happened. Instead of politicians, corporations, and celebrities issuing messages of solidarity with the Christian community, the victims of this mass shooting, they were instead expressing support for the transgender community, and the media was strangely preoccupied with not misgendering the mass killer. God forbid.
All right, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to YAHAWAHSHI'S, YAHAWAHSHI'S. Double on sub houses of GMS, and sincere shalom to the brothers out there pushing this truth and sincerity. And what I have here, of course, goes into Joe Biden. It says, lead the charge for trans activism with absurd statement in Nashville shooting. And as you've seen it, they're not, this place is definitely giving a wicked thing. Because they're not concerned about the Christians or any other. Even now, they don't really give a shit about the females as much now. But this whole trans thing is skyrocketing. It's become the new woman of the power, and we're seeing it. They get more. See, we have quote unquote rights. They give the women more rights, and now the trans have more rights than them because they uphold the wicked. They are more wicked than the women. Why? Because guess what? They get to do anything and everything they want. At first, it was women that could do that shit. Now, women can't get away with as much shit as these things can do. And social media is more on that side than even the women. And we're seeing it. This is 2 Timothy 2 and 4. And then we're going to go further into this clip. It says, no man that warreth entangle himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier. Why did I bring this out? It's because by the Lord's will, we're the ones that's bringing this stuff out. Social media or certain channels might tell it, but we're definitely bringing out more stuff than they even are. Because we'll go into articles that's even exposing more of this stuff, even more of the world stuff. Why? Because this is our job to do so. This is our job to wake up the hopeful elect. While they may tell the people that the viewers that's watching, we're telling the viewers that may be of the hopeful elect, which is an even bigger job than theirs. And we're showing people that this isn't the life that you want. We're showing people that this isn't how we want to live, where we gotta be not only oppressed by our own, well, quote unquote oppressed by our own women, but oppressed by these things. We don't want to keep living in constant fear of, oh, I can't do such certain things, or I can go to jail for it. Hell, you can go to jail for not wanting to be or accepting these transformers, and they'll call it hate. You go to jail for it. So they saying that you better comply with these things, or we'll send you to jail. So in this society, we're being told that we can't be straight. And in society, we can't be told we can't not want things. We had to accept all the wicked things in this society, and that's messed up. Because this place is nothing but a sickness. And this is what it's showing. I'm pretty sure those police there don't even agree with what this thing even is, but they have to play along because it's in their guidelines too. Because guess what? You can say one thing to them and they will like, we can get your job fired for misgendering this person. Let's continue with the clip.
And we even had stories about how the killer could have been a children's book illustrator. Meanwhile, CBS banned staffers from using the word transgender when reporting on the Nashville shooter, despite the fact that police said she was transgender and cited that as a key point in the case. But instead of examining that aspect or perhaps reflecting on how the hyperbole around the trans community being supposedly marginalised and even victims of a modern day genocide may lead to such crimes, the media, celebrity, and political class launched into a full blown trans activist mode. It was, after all, about to be International Transgender Day of Visibility. Leading the charge was President Joe Biden, who released this frankly absurd statement where he said, "Transgender Americans shape our nation's soul." Proudly serving in the military, curing deadly diseases, holding elected office, running thriving businesses, fighting for justice, raising families, and much more. And White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre was also eager to express support and solidarity, not with the Christian community that had just been attacked, but with the trans community.
It is shameful, it is disturbing, and our hearts go out to the trans community.
This is what they promote. We already known this for years, but they're really showing it. 6 people dies, but we're going to support the same movement that killed these 6 people. They showing, and see, this is more likely set up anyways. But if it's not, this is because they said, "Oh, we could get away with it." Because notice, this person shot down 6 people. Female shot down 6 people. Cops didn't shoot her, even though she identified as a man. So if she identifies as a man, she should be treated like a man, which means 9 times out of 10 should have got shot like a man. But then again, this is usually towards black men. If this even was a quote unquote black woman that identified as a black man, we already knew, we highly doubt they would have shot her anyways, because women don't get shot on the scale as men. Of anything, we're seeing clips of them getting slammed down by police, or they'll get punched, knocked out, but they won't get shot like we will. Oh, they don't even get beat down as much as we do. But this is the reality check of this society. Why? Because this is more fucked up than anything else. But I'm gonna fast forward. Let's fast forward a little bit. Also, before I get that, this is Proverbs 29 and 25. It says, "The fear of man bringeth a snare, but whoso putteth his trust in the Lord shall be safe." And so that snare becomes with many is a trap, which comes with many more problems that you have to be secluded in. And this society secludes you in nothing but toxic snares. The fact that you have to do all these things, you have to correctly identify these people. We don't give a shit about identifying these people. We know that you're a woman, and a man is born a man. But no, people get upset about it and all this other stuff. Only in America. That's why this place is looked down upon. It's laughed at. We laugh at it because we know these people are stupid. Oh, we even as us coming into this truth, educational wise, a lot of us was nowhere near on the level as these other foreigners that's been taught how to learn all these things at a young age. Even when it comes to hunting, none of us in this society a lot of us in this society wasn't taught how to hunt. But you got a lot of them other foreigners that know how to. Let's continue.
Texas are upholding parental rights and putting a stop to many of the excesses of the trans movement, whether it's drag queens dancing for toddlers or inappropriate material in school libraries. Virginia is another state putting a stop to many of the excesses of the trans movement, whether it's drag queens dancing for toddlers or inappropriate material.
Look at this mess. That's a whole man doing this stuff for toddlers. And all these people don't have a problem with it. You got parents there, teachers there, children there, definitely children. They're doing this shit in front of children. And how I'm probably sure a lot of those children was there to protect their children from this, just by making sure they don't do anything. But they know better because they letting this shit happen. I'd walk my child out of that shit right then and there if I had any. Because that shit is disgusting.
In school libraries. Virginia is another state where parental rights and what children are taught in class became a top-line issue that saw the state flip from Democrat to Republican. And as an antidote to some of the crazy I've shown you this morning, from the Biden White House to Madonna, here is Virginia Lieutenant Governor Winsome Sears telling it like it is, and even winning cheers from Bill Maher's lefty crowd. Here she is with Bill Maher and a reporter.
They're usually very particular about the subjective sense of gender identity and respecting that. If someone says
that man looks like a disgusting freak. He's definitely one of them, because you could look at these things and tell that they full on about this shit. Those are the freaks. You can see it. This is why we are separate from this world, because we don't accept none of the stuff these people have to have. But let me go back. I'm gonna let them do the talking for a second.
Bill Maher's lefty crowd. Here she is with Bill Maher and a reporter.
they're usually very particular about the subjective sense of gender identity and respecting that. If someone says they're a man, then they're a man. But in this case, they're not doing that.
Hang on. You know what? This person murdered 6 people. I don't really care who you say you are. You murdered 6 people, and 3 of them were children. You don't get a say. Well, she's dead now, so, but you don't get a say in telling us who you are and what you're about. You killed 6 people.
Okay, but let's take her out of it.
She wasn't done there. She then talked about the wider issue of parental rights and protecting children from inappropriate content and indoctrination.
I'm a parent. I'm a parent all day. I get to decide what happens in my child's life. Not you, not the government, not anybody. I don't co-parent. I had this child. I'm responsible for this child. Anything happens to little Johnny, you're calling me, right? As you should. Right. So what I'm saying, hang on. So what I'm saying now is, if I don't want my child giving lap dances at school by a drag queen, I don't want it done.
Right.
That's happening.
But do you think the state should have the right? Do you think the state should have the right to interfere?
I'm talking about as a parent.
Well,
I am a parent. Forget the state. I'm a parent.
Lap dances.
This is my child. I will make a decision about what happens with my child.
I'm not sure lap dances.
It's happening. Don't you see it?
There's drag queen story. There are definitely drag queens reading to children.
There are drag queens that are doing pole dances. There are drag queens that are
in school.
You.
What?
Bill, you gotta read more.
So, and yes, there was actually accounts of children having to give lap dances to these things. And you're like, what the absolute fuck? And that's why I planned to play this clip, because you've seen all sorts of sick shit out here. This actually reminds me of, what is it, Matthew 12:26, where it says, and if Satan casts out Satan, he is divided against himself. And even in the society is divided against itself, because it's mass confusion. People don't know what the fuck they want to be. You got the people that actually, of the 2/3 of our people, you got some of them that's like, hell no, I'm not for any of this stuff. Just like we are. We're not for any of this stuff. But you got some of us, some of the 2/3, they'd be like, no, we're against this stuff. Hell, you got some of the Edomites, they'd be like, no, we're against this stuff. Some of them are downright outspoken with it, especially them hillbillies. They don't give a shit. You come up to them with some dumb shit like that, they're ready to shoot you. So this place is heavily divided against itself. This place is the most diverse in the world for everything, but it is the most divided and the most corrupt, most disgusting place in the face of the earth. That is why this place needs to be destroyed, and we look forward to it, especially when you go into Malachi 4:1, where it says, "This place shall burn, and it shall leave neither root nor branch." There's a reason for that, because this place spreads its corrupted, filthy roots throughout the entire globe, and it needs to be burned down. And with those roots that spread it out across the world, those are going to be burned down too. That goes to that goes to Russia, China, and all these other countries, because they think they're going to be the next power, and they tend to forget their power is also corrupt from also this place, because they're going to be doing the same shit. So the Lord's like, I'm going to wipe out all of it. But this is the main epitome of where it needs to start. Because you burn this place, you weaken everything else everywhere else. And that is a great strategy. Because the Lord, a lot of people, how I can't even understand the Lord's power, but that's how beautiful and strategic and well played the Lord is to deal with the main problem first, whereas a lot of people had to go around or has to deal with certain parts just to get to the main root. No, the Lord's dealing with the main root on the spot just to weaken everybody else. And that's the beauty of this place ending, because we can't live like this. Not that's why this place is going to crash anyways, because the more wicked it is, the more it can't hold up his own leg. America's on a crutch, a wheelchair, that. You tip that sucker over, he ain't moving. Because guess what? That whore is paralyzed. So that's all I have going to that. So, little one, this is edifying with that Shalom.